really solid pump on Bitcoin, and I thought it would be a really good time to make an update and tell you guys what I see on the charts these days. So Bitcoin is continuing in this ascending channel, and we're now hitting again a point of resistance. I would be careful going long, especially on leverage at these levels. We could break past, we could break through, but as long as we break and then confirm this new support, I would be really careful. Not just that, but we are also now entering the turbulence zone, so to say, which is this whole area between $5.8 and $6.8 thousand for the price of Bitcoin. So all of this here should be really, really massive resistance, and a lot of people are looking to unload at these levels. So I was waiting now for a while to hit this 5.8 level, and this is where I start, looking more and more for a correction. Things are starting to get, more and more overextended on the charts. We still have some room, but you can also see now with the RSI we have this clear divergence between the chart and the RSI. So unless there is a really, really solid move up, at some point it's gonna have to correct and come down. And so as usual, unless we get past 6.8k, I'm still bearish for the midterm. Yeah, so long term I am bullish. Short term I just take it day by day, but in terms of for the next few weeks, even next few months, my midterm view remains more on the bearish side as long as we don't get past this area. And as I said before, I just doubt that we're just going to shoot through. I think that we'll need to cool off, either come back down to these levels, maybe just down to the lower 4,000s, and then have a second attempt. So this is for Bitcoin. I wanted to have a look also at the other charts, because here is the total market cap, and you can see that also the Bitcoin plus the altcoins are now also entering this same resistance area, which again I think that getting past these levels, we have a peak here at around 240 billion dollars for the total market cap, and these levels are not going to get easy to get past. All of this here is a clear range that is probably going to give us a lot of resistance. You can see even the also total market cap, but without Bitcoin, so this is just for the altcoins. It's not quite following behind the same way. Yeah, you can see it's very different. Why? Because it has already hit actually these levels, it has already entered this area and met pretty strong resistance. You can see Bitcoin dominance is still rising. It keeps on going higher. As of now, it's showing no sign of stopping, and actually it went past this resistance line, as now it's just shooting up. On the weekly, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance, we had this pretty clear bullish pattern here of almost a bull, kind of a bull flag formation, and it just seems that it's ready to go higher. So I think that we might come and test the 60%, and if Bitcoin decides to do something really crazy, like either a massive pump or a ridiculous dump, or one and then the other, we could even see this dominance go all the way to 70%, which would be huge and is not something that we had seen since December 2017, but it's entirely possible. So again, in the midterm, I am a bit careful trading altcoins these days, just because this Bitcoin chart here, the Bitcoin dominance chart, is looking pretty primed for some more move on the upside. So please be careful with altcoins. Again, you might get a few days, of good altcoins and maybe a few trades. Of course, you can always find good trades, but in general, it's just showing no sign of clear reversal for the dominance. So we'll have to see also what happens at the end of this day and at the end of this week. But for now, it just keeps on going to the upside. So I want to go back to the Bitcoin chart, and look at a few other things that we can keep an eye on. And here I want to go into the moving averages, which I commonly use. I made a whole video about this famous pi line, which I said is what I consider the real indicator of the bear market versus bull market. Yeah, as long as we remain above, we have this strong support, and then going below is really the real sign of a bear market, and then being able to stay above for a while is a sign of strength, and usually a sign that the bulls are back. You can see we had it. Sorry, I think I went too far. That's the Coinbase chart. I need to go on the Bitstamp. It will give me okay, I'm there. You can see that it was a clear resistance for a while. Again, we had a rally failed here, and then so we spent here actually a few days above. We had one day closed here, a few days above, then we failed eventually, and then we went much lower. We had one more attempt, we failed, and eventually we had this huge run and a massive correction down exactly to this line, and eventually we kept on going higher, and then from there we never touched it again. But you can see how it had been in the past a key indicator, this pi line, yeah, the 314 SMMA. So this is the one that you want to keep an eye on. Now when it comes to the weekly chart, we have the 50, which is playing a key role, and which had done so in the past, and we're now again exactly on this weekly average. So we're coming down now. If you look at the past, again we had this retest of the 50, we failed, and then eventually once we're able to get past it, it was again a sign of a bull market. The ultimate confirmation was getting back above the 100, and then eventually we managed to just run. But at first you can see here it was our first obvious support, this area here, and then it was a first and last actually strong resistance for the bear market. And on the monthly, what is it that I keep an eye on? It's the 21 EMA, 21 exponential moving average, which in the end, it's funny because I'm just showing different moving averages on different time frames, but you can see that a lot of them, they pretty much match. Those three that I just showed somehow, not exactly, but they pretty much match, because you can see here that it was this strong support here, resistance for a few months, first retest, we failed. So it's like, which one is it? No, maybe all of them. And then we managed to close the month right above it, and then eventually that was the sign of the beginning of the bull market. Now you can see how this was our support for 5 months, really clear support for 5 months, and bam, we broke below. We found support on the 50, just like we did back then, by the way. We couldn't see it yet, but this is the red line, this is the 50. Yeah, so all of this here was the support on the 50. We're doing the same thing again. And we are, sorry, I'm just going to take this off. And we're going to have to see where we actually close, because we close exactly on the line. It's a bit of a tricky one. And we're going to have to see where we actually close this month. If we can close the month above, and this is just the beginning now, we still have, 4 weeks left in the month of May. But if we can close above 5,000, 250, let's say 5,200, to be safe, 5,300, things could be looking very good for Bitcoin. So I'm waiting to see where we're going to close this month. We've had now 3 months in the green. It might be time to cool off for a while. The weekly chart, it's just almost green. You can see, I'm going to remove the moving averages for now. Let's see where this week closes. Let's see where the month closes. But for now, just take it day by day. Things are looking good. I'm not overly, like, there's more and more signs, of the biggest part of the bear market being over, at least. You can see we're, even, using the Ichimoku cloud, you can see like we're getting past this major resistance area here, which we hadn't done in a really long time. All this time, this red cloud was clear resistance pushing us down all the time, and it was actually working quite accurately. And now finally we're back above it, and so now we should have this nice support here from the green cloud, which is getting thicker, which is getting higher. So things, as much as I'm midterm bear, I see more and more hope for the end of the bear market being near, maybe not as far as some people might say. That being said, as I said, I always just take it day by day. I don't like to make too many predictions of exactly when and what price. I just really take it day by day. I have this clear area here, which again we're now entering. Let's see where we close the day. Let's see if we manage to really enter this area and have a decent fight, or maybe we just get rejected right away. So I don't know, we'll see. For now, I would really like to see this area here being retested. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, I would like to see at least this area here being tested. We might again go below and face this resistance again, I don't know, but for now this should be a really decent support. And I just think that, I don't know, I just doubt we're just going to have this one bottom and then up, and then we're just shooting up. Looking at the size of this pattern that we had here, this huge descending triangle we had, I just think that we might, Bitcoin will most likely give one more chance, and maybe more, to those who didn't buy enough at these levels. So that's it for now on Bitcoin. Side note, you might see on Bitfinex chart went above 6,000. I think it went to 6,200 even, or something like that. That is because of the Tether FUD. So this is because people are dumping their USDT out of fear, and because it was recently, once again, usual thing, and then it was actually admitted that only, I think, 74% of the Tether is actually backed by real US dollars. So anyways, people are, especially on Bitfinex, are dumping the Tether for USDT, for Bitcoin, and this is why there's such a huge premium on there, and it's just the price of USDT going down. It's not the actual price of Bitcoin going up that much. So you will find differences if you go to CoinPaprika or CoinMarketCap. It will not reflect the exact same price as you can see here on Bitstamp or Coinbase, which are all trusted exchanges. So keep that in mind. That's all for now, and let's see how it plays out the next few days and weeks. I'll just keep on making updates anyways, and we'll see how it goes. Bye.